When looking for the king of podcasts, you're at the wrong channel.
Well, excuse me!
Looking for good ideas for life? You're far from good hands.
Hey, bud, what's your problem?
If you think the listener is always right, you're far from the right place.
Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works!
Hosted by a Northeasterner by birth, but a rebel by choice.
Are you threatening me?
If you want a host that floats between love and madness,
and we know the night is always gonna be here anyway. Thinking of you's working up my appetite. Looking forward to a little afternoon delight.
then play on and listen to Crazy Train Radio.
All right, guys, listen, this is the blues riff and B. Watch me for the changes and try and keep up, okay?
Hey there, Friday fans. We know how much you enjoy the movies. Enjoy grabbing your Friday merchandise and interacting with the Friday family, whether it be at conventions or during our particular watch-alongs. Well, when you're looking to get yourself masks, why not check out our friends over at Camp Blood Customs out of New York State and order your specific custom mask from any of the films. All orders are made specifically. Your needs and wants are. Make sure you find Camp Blood Customs on Facebook, Instagram, and all over social media and order yours today.
Hey, I'm Cliff Dorsey. You're listening to Crazy Train Radio.
Hey folks, it's your least favorite host in the podcast world, the Croc, Jonathan Steele. And boy, do we have a good one for you today. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this next guest tips his hat to the brave, hard-working souls that truly give their all every day to help others keep things rolling, I guess is the best way to put it, with his new heartfelt single, Raising One, which was released in August of 2022. This track is sure to become an instant favorite among country fans everywhere who head for a cold one, I should say, at the end of a long working day. And during that working day, they keep the wheels of this country turning. But this next guest is Cliff Dorsey. Cliff, how you doing?
Doing well. Thank you for having me, Jonathan. And yeah, Raise One. I think Raising One was something that was on the lyric sheet when we first. So you got the explicit backstage scoop on that title. Yeah, I appreciate you having me. This song is to put out a service to everyone. I'm happy to sit here and talk about it with you.
Well, this song was produced by the Swan Brothers. So I guess first question is, what was it like working with them to get the song out there?
It was an absolute pleasure, and I'll go into detail about that. I first met the Swan Brothers pretty early in the process, and I quickly realized that, like people in Nashville, the business side of things, you're not, you walk in with you don't know quite how to feel out the situation. But when I
Mhm.
sat down with Colton and Zach, it was immediate. Like we had a lot of things in common when it comes to the outdoors and how we feel country music should be portrayed. And they were basically my Nashville big brothers. It was a great experience right off the bat. And I knew that I was in the same room with people that could see where I'm coming from as a new artist and had been there and has already gained the experience. And the whole reason why this EP is the way that it is, it's because they took the time and sat down with me and was, open to what are you here trying to do? And this song is a great first reference to that.
Yeah, it's definitely an anthem for all those who put in a hard day's work and have pride in what they do. But it also has the soulful and bold throwback sound that you might hear in a jukebox, whether you're at the diner or the bar or whatever the case, and has a little bit of a Johnny Cash, Charlie Pride, Waylon Jennings feel. So why don't I go ahead and put that here?
Most definitely.
To the strong ones, to the brave ones, to the break their backs for us ones, let's raise one. To the tough ones, do their best to keep us safe ones, to the good ones, let's raise one. Put 'em up in the air for the ones out there whose work is never done. Let's raise one. To the ones out on the line, to the ones that give their lives, doing what must be done. Let's raise one. To the bold ones, to the fight for what is right ones, to the good ones, let's raise one. Put 'em up in the air for the ones out there whose work is never done. Let's raise one. To the ones out on the line, to the ones that give their lives, doing what must be done. Let's raise one. Put 'em up in the air for the ones out there whose work is never done. Let's raise one. To the ones out on the line, to the ones that give their life, whose work is never done. Let's raise one. To the ones out on the line, to the ones that give their lives, doing what must be done. Let's raise one. To the bold ones, to the fight for what is right ones, to the good ones, let's raise one.
Coming out of Raise One, which you guys just heard. So definitely grab it where you can, Spotify, iTunes, all the usual suspects. So what has been the response fan-wise so far?
Amazing. I'm from a little town, High Springs, Florida, north central Florida near Gainesville. and we had a release party there to where first responders actually showed up at the parking lot, put on the sirens and lights, and we sang the song in real time. And we had a sold out crowd out there standing on the picnic table, raising one, singing along. And across, it's still a relatively new song, and this is my first single out, but you just see the build of people appreciating this song, sending it to the person in their life that they see as, you know, a hero of the community. And like I said, it's people, their job is never done, but also people that put their life out on the line and pay the price. So I think it resonates very well with everyone. And it's an absolute honor.
Well, like I said, grab the song, raise one, wherever you can, when you can, support the independent artists. But I want to follow up to wrap with two other questions because I think it's important to bring them up.
Yes.
You had your first album of 321. Is it? Well, actually,
Yes.
A second question with this. Is that in reference to the zip code in Florida?
It is not, actually. And it was great because I actually got to play.
Or not zip code. I'm thinking of the area code. Excuse me, folks.
Yeah, I knew what you meant. And that's Space Coast kind of area, Melbourne. I actually got to play an event down there, and it was really cool singing that song with everybody. I'm from a 386 area code, and that song was solely inspired by trying to get out of a small town. The whole, you know, your life is this rut we fall into, and it's time to get out and catch an adventure as a couple, two people that love each other, and it kind of built off that. And then I realized that that title became yes, it's an area code, and I love that.
Now, were you referencing as far as the couples and stuff, if Whiskey Was a Woman, or were we talking 321? I was going to lead to. Okay, because I was going to lead to if Whiskey Was a Woman on that album, which was. So what's the response for that fan favorite as well?
That is a great. I'm glad that you asked that question, because if Whiskey Was a Woman, I wrote that song when I was working at Lowe's, and I had these lines come into my head as I was clocking in that day. And by lunchtime, I took my lunch break in the parking lot, and I had my guitar in the back seat because every once in a while someone would call me and say, "Hey, can you cover my show tonight?" So I'd go from work to cover a show. I was still trying to build my shows up. And long story short, I wrote that song in 15 minutes in the parking lot. And I thought, this song's really silly. Like, I'm not going to sing this song for anybody. But I sang it for my best friend. I thought I could share it with him. And he said, "Man, it's a sing-along song. You should try it." So I was taking a big risk of trying this silly song. I went to the show and I tried it, and people came to the next show and requested it. And it became people requesting the song to where it became a normal rotation, to where it became the first song on the first EP. And it's been a fan favorite ever since. But I can't say that I wrote that song and was like, "Oh yeah, this is it." To me, it was just something I had to put down on paper, and then I presented it, and people liked it.
I know this might be a stretch because you're a younger artist here, but the way you said that, currently when you perform, is this your Friends in Low Places per se?
Most definitely. Yes.
That's just that song that everybody likes to sing. And
exactly. People, they have a good time. And what I really noticed about that song is that it can take a room that is half the people are engaged, and half those people are going to participate and say, when I say she'll be dancing on the bar, screaming, "Let's get loud," they say, "Let's get loud." And everyone at the table that may be in their conversation, whatever it may be, they have a smile on their face because their friend just yelled out, "Let's get loud" next to them, and they're like, "Okay, now we're playful, now we're engaged," and it becomes it wins over a crowd type thing. It becomes everyone's not so serious anymore.
Totally
Yeah.
understand that. The other thing I wanted to bring up was the sophomore album as well of Hurricane Blues, and you had another fan favorite, it seems like, with Honky Tonk Dream. So what kind of crowd reaction you getting with that at shows?
So that I think is more of the throwback, what people would call outlaw country crowd. The Merle Haggards, the Waylon Jennings, the
Willie Nelson's your
yeah. And I can relate to that quite a bit. I wrote that song in a old St. Augustine house after playing a bar in St. Augustine. I was playing a ton of shows and I was having a great time, but I was just worn out. Like I could have went to the beach, but instead I stayed in the room and I felt like I had to write that song. And people's reaction to that is they see it as hard work being put in, and it's just a faith that all these musicians, including myself, you got to be a little bit crazy to show up every day and be vulnerable and bring your stuff, thinking that you're going to be able to make a career out of it. And that's not even how it started. I knew that I wanted to do music for the rest of my life, but it was just something that I loved doing, and I felt like I kind of had to do to be myself. And I guess Honky Tonk Dream is about paying those dues.
Well, like we said and played here on this episode, Raise One. Make sure you go out and get it and get the EP with it. But I'm gonna put links to everything. But where is the best social media people can follow you at if they choose to do so?
Facebook. A lot of people have Facebook. Look up Cliff Dorsey Music, and there is a music page on there. We just released the lyric video for Raise One. That just went out on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, but Instagram as well. I have a website, cliffdorsey.com, where you can find links to everything. Also, the schedules on all of those. And Apple Music would be a great place to follow the music, Spotify, and y'all know the rest. It's there.
Yeah. So, like I said, we'll put links to everything as well so they can go collect, like, subscribe, all the fun stuff that you usually do with this kind of thing. So make sure if you happen to be in Florida or if he happens to pop up in an area near you, make sure you go check out this fun show with Cliff. Cliff, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me. Be well.
This brand is truly exciting and so glad that they are starting to make a positive impact. Little Bean Soapery is a woman-owned small business based in Northeast Pennsylvania. Little Bean Soapery does so much as all products are handcrafted and offer many different things for both men and women. Soaps, scrubs, body butters, bath bombs, solid cologne, and much more. Little Bean Soapery also does things for special occasions such as birthdays, Mother's Day, Father's Day, and special seasonal gift sets. But also, let's not forget large orders for party favors by request. The great things about all products is that they are crafted to be nourishing on the skin. If you wish to check them out, please feel free to visit littlebeansoapery.com. Any questions, please feel free to also email littlebeansoapery@gmail.com for custom inquiries and or ask anything else you wish. Tell them that Elena from Crazy Train Radio sent ya.
Hey you guys, this is Allie Pauline, and you are listening to Crazy Train Radio.